Happy birthday to the National Cycle Network. Next, an international cyber network. You might have heard of it. It's called Zwift. And here to explain all about it is CEO, founder, Eric Min. Good to see you, Eric. Tell us about Zwift, how it works, and where the idea came from.
Well, the idea came from me actually riding indoors quite a bit. I live in central London, busy life, and just trying to get out of central London is difficult. So I've been riding indoors quite a bit. In fact, I've been doing it for many years. And
just on a turbo trainer?
On a turbo trainer, you know, looking at CNN or watching videos, and it just dawned on me that it's been 20 years since they've introduced virtual reality for cycling. It really hasn't advanced. So I thought, God, wouldn't it be great if we can do some of the things that Strava has done and bring it into a video game platform.
So people have it, they have a trainer, or they can do it on rollers, and they hook it up to a computer, and then they have, well, what we can see here on the screen, they have an avatar they can see pedaling through a virtual world. Where are they now?
Well, we decided to pick an island in the South Pacific.
Okay.
And the reason for that is we know that we won't be competing with real segments. People can do their rides and they can upload it to Strava because it will have real geolocation. But everything on that island, in our game, is fictitious. So it's our course. And we know that if a certain shape on Strava, for example, we know it's Watopia.
Yeah, you mentioned Strava, so people can load up their rides to Strava to show where they've been, how long they've done, etc., etc. And they can become, the king of the mountain on some of the climbs and that sort of thing. So it's mimicking the real world as much as possible. How far has it got to go? Because it's not entirely like the real world, of course. Can you ride with friends? Can you stop and get off and explore? Can you have a coffee, etc., etc.?
Absolutely. So it's a 9-kilometer circuit. You can meet your friends at the start. I ride regularly with friends back in the US. I live in London. We organize group rides, and you can choose from a number of different bicycles that we have on offer. You have to earn them, which is good. We have clothing, different brands, and you earn these by riding on Zwift.
And this rider here in the green jersey, so they're the best sprinter in the game at the moment.
That's correct. He has the fastest split in the last hour. You can only hold that for an hour, and then you have to give it up, which means you have to try again to be the best.
I appreciate when you started it, it was just to make your experience of riding on a home trainer more enjoyable. Do you find that people are just riding on Zwift instead of going out and riding in the real world?
Well, so this is interesting. Cycling is a seasonal activity, and what we aim to do is take seasonality out of cycling. So if you like to ride a bike, you can do that 12 months out of the year. We see Zwift as a complement to outdoor. We all love to ride outdoors, but it's always not very convenient, whether it's because of traffic or light issue or just scheduling issues.
Yeah, and one more thing. What is very interesting is you're seeing a number of people who are logging on, not to ride, but just to watch people like this guy go round and round a virtual world.
Right. This goes back to really the gaming industry. It's become, watching the top players play on video games is a form of entertainment, and it's no different on Zwift. People do log in. We are going to make some enhancements so that when you're riding, we can tell you how many people are actually looking at you, and that gives you the extra motivation to keep pedaling.
With it being immersive like that, do you find that when you're using it, you almost forget that you're sitting in your spare room on a turbo trainer?
I certainly think so. I can tell you that our community, before they get on their bike, they think about which bike they're going to ride today, what kit they're going to wear, and then they do the ride with friends. And when they're done, they're sharing all that on social. So there's a lot of engagement that goes with Zwift.
Eric, thanks so much for coming in and explaining how Zwift works. Well, coming up after the break, I'm going to have a go myself. The beauty is you can ride with friends wherever in the world they may be. So, coming up, I'm going to be riding with Jens Voigt, even though he's at the Tour de France. Don't go away. Welcome back. Well, as promised, I'm all set up on Zwift, and we're going to go for a ride in cyberspace with Jens Voigt. Jens, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, I am there. I can hear you and I can see you. You're 2 meters ahead of me. Actually just pedaling away from me. Wait, my friend, wait!
I just want to stay slightly ahead of you because you've got the legs of a pro, and I'm not a pro.
No, that's okay. We're on an easy ride, so there's no need to hurt ourselves here. We're just gonna easy peasy up this climb.
Jens, we've seen you on British screens actually as part of the Tour de France highlights. Are you enjoying watching it instead of taking part in it?
Absolutely, I do. I did miss it for like a few seconds when I saw the boys at the team presentation. You know, they're all looking sharp, ready, well trained, in the shape of their lives, full of hopes, you know, and full of plans for the Tour de France. I missed it a little bit there, but after seeing the stress and crashes and the hard mountains, no, I'm good that I don't have to do it anymore. I'm happy about that.
We saw earlier in the Tour this year how you felt when Fabian Cancellara crashed out. That must have been a difficult thing to see when he's been such a close teammate of yours for so many years.
Well, I must say that now I watched the Tour de France first time from the outside. I only now realize what the unbelievable, crazy, hard, beautiful, dangerous, glorious job it is to be a bike rider. And I feel for every single one who crashes. But yes, seeing Fabian crashing out, I mean, it was, I would say, at least 10 years. He was my teammate. Yes, that was hard to take. That was hard to see him crashing out like that in the yellow jersey. Fortunately, the healing process goes okay for him. And we hope to have him back for the Benelux Tour after the Tour de France as a first race back. So he's doing okay. But yes, that was hard to take, that crash.
And how are you enjoying life since retiring? Because I know you've got many children and you're back living at home in Germany more often than you used to. So how is life for you?
Retirement is actually a lot more stress than I thought. One of the challenging things is, as a bike rider, you have one job and one boss, the team. Riding the bike is your job and the team is your boss. Now I have 15 different jobs and 15 different bosses. So I try to make all of them happy without basically killing myself in between. So that's one of the challenges as in retirement.
And Jensi, what's the future hold? I know you're still obviously involved with Trek. We see you doing the punditry on our TV screens. What else have you got lined up?
Well, I'm working for NBC, American television, as a commentator here. I'm still working to get my book finished. I like to do more charity work. I went this year to Australia to do the Tour de Cure, which is a 9-day bike event, and we raised a little more than 5 million Australian dollars in the fight against cancer.
It's fantastic. And do you think you would ever come out of retirement and perhaps get into racing again? I mean, I know you're not the youngest guy anymore, but you've still clearly got the legs, I can see from what you look like in the game.
No bloody comeback. Comebacks always end up in some sort of disaster. No, there's a reason why I retire, because I didn't want to suffer anymore. And that hasn't changed yet. There's no way that I'm gonna come back with a comeback. No, comebacks are hardly ever a good idea. No comeback from me.
What changes have you noticed in your own body, Jens, since you stopped riding? Because you were doing it year on year for such a long time.
Oh, I struggle with that, my friend. Now that I'm retired, I can almost feel on a daily basis how I replace muscles with fat. So the body shape stays a little bit the same, but the quality inside is not as good anymore. That's the only thing I struggle with after retirement or in retirement. I'm just getting fatter and older and slower. Doesn't feel good.
But do you feel better in other ways, like less tired perhaps?
Well, yeah, I never have pain in my legs anymore. That's a good bonus to be retired. You know, it's not that I have to wake up and then the first thought in the morning is, okay, how many miles I need to train? Where do I want to go? How many intervals I need to do? That's out of the window, so that's good. I can wake up, get the kids ready to school, drive them to school on the bikes, or if it rains, in the car, and then I can grab my wife and go to breakfast in town. That's good.
And also, I noticed, Jens, that you know, doing this ride here, plenty of people want to come and ride alongside you. Do you get people trying to, you know, attack you on a regular basis?
Hey, I raced with Cancellara, with Contador, with the Schleck brothers. You know, I raced Cipollini. I don't need any more challenges. I had 17 years time in my professional career to test myself against the best riders. I don't want to be challenged anymore. I know my place. I know how good, I know how bad I am. And if it says Gran Fondo, it doesn't say race to me, right? I just want to chill out, talk to you folks, and have a nice and relaxed day.
Jensi, thank you so much.
Hey, no worries, man. It's always a pleasure. There you are. I see us riding into the sunset. That's almost a romantic image, my friend. You and me almost holding hands, riding our bikes into the sunset.
Riding into the sunset together with Jens Voigt, out of breath.